Good morning, everyone. Thank you, James. And James and Bob kind of gave us a small selection of what might be going on in your garden right now and some of the problems or the questions that you may be having this time of year. And there are so many things to look at, I think, a lot more than they were even able to cover in this short time. So what I kind of wanted to go over was, if you're out in your garden and you're seeing all these things happening, whether it's a problem or a question about color in your hydrangeas or bugs or pests or weird growths that you're seeing, where are some of the resources that are out there to help you through this? Whether you're first time you're planting a garden in your backyard, you've been doing it for decades, there is always something new and always questions, I think, even for the experts. And so I just want to go over some of the areas and the resources that are available through Extension, and specifically talk a little bit about the Master Gardener program along with that. So next slide. So most of y'all are probably familiar with the Master Gardener program. For those who aren't, I'll give a brief background. The program was developed about 70 years ago, so it's been a part of the Extension system for a while, and it's worked really well, and it's expanded and grown a lot since then. It started as a way to help county ag agents such as myself or James meet the needs of people who have gardening related questions. So especially certain times of year, like right now, our gardens are in full swing, the weeds are in full swing, the pathogens are getting in full swing, the insects are in full swing, and you're seeing just so many different things going on in the gardens, and you may have a lot of problems that you're dealing with, and so it can be a lot, but we want to try to meet all those needs. So what the Master Gardener program does is it trains up people who want to volunteer to help with Extension and have a passion for gardening or just want to learn more about it. And they can undergo a pretty extensive curriculum. It's about 42 hours at least of instruction. And then in addition to that, there's some hands-on training with the agents to get them ready to kind of know the basics of why things are growing well or why they're not growing well, and also kind of introduces them to the resources I want to go over a little bit that are available through Extension, so that they can help reach those clients and you all as this question comes in. And we get questions from, people that really literally have never put a seed in the ground, and people that have been growing a certain kind of plant for 40 years and they're seeing these problems that they don't have. So there's always something. I do want to mention the program, since it started, has evolved to be really a lot more than even answering clients' questions. Master gardeners are usually a part of their community in a number of different ways and outreach. So they could be managing green spaces or creating green spaces like the one you see here, whether it's to promote pollinators or to create educational spaces for demonstration, growing food for local food banks. They attend events and make themselves available to the public. They're at the farmers markets, they are at Earth Day events, they give lectures around the community, they write articles. So they really have just kind of integrated themselves as an extension of Extension in making themselves available with their training and the resources to reach out to our community. So next slide. So I like to think of it as if the county agents are the hands of the Extension body, reaching all the different counties and connecting those counties to the body of research and resources that have been accumulating for over 100 years, and that all of our specialists are actively developing. Then the master gardeners are like the fingers. So they're able to reach even further into the communities. There's more of them than there are of us. So there's one of me, and right now I have over 160 active master gardeners in our program here in Athens. And so on any given Saturday, we may have master gardeners at 3 different events around the county, maybe at the botanical gardens, maybe at a couple of our farmers markets, and they're out in gardens, working out there. So it really is sort of an extension of what the agents are wanting to do and the mission of Extension, but they know their own communities, and they can go out into the counties and kind of make themselves more available to all of y'all than we would ever be able to do. So next. And in talking about the extension body, really what I mean is all of these resources that are available. So even in the last, 20 minutes, I think Bob and James probably gave us plenty to think about and look for in our own yards. There are an overwhelming number of things you can find in your garden, for better or worse, and there are also just an enormous amount of resources that are available. So I think Bob mentioned some of the publications, and some of those were on James' resource slide, but there is a publication for almost everything out there. And you can find that on this extension publication site. There are also diagnostic labs. So the university has diagnostic labs for soils, which when we're talking about soil testing, there's also diagnostic labs for pathogens, for insects, for weeds, and that are available to the public via your extension office. And then there's local lectures. There's these webinars like the one we're in right now. And then also there's always local lectures and workshops going on across the state in different counties at any given time. And in addition to that, especially now that so much of our stuff is being done remotely, let's say you go on to find some of these resources to see if there's going to be a lecture coming up on a specific issue that you're having, and you find out, oh, they gave that exact lecture, last year in this county. Well, a lot of that stuff is archived now, so you can even access that. So there's a lot of resources out there, but some of the time, you don't know where they are, you're not sure what's there, what you need to access. So next slide. So that's part of what either your master gardeners or extension agent in your local county can help you with. So I should have probably put the last bullet point here first. You have this body of information and resources to help you fix whatever's going on in your garden, or answer your questions about that. But it really helps to have a human resource. So if you call your local county office and get in touch with your master gardeners there, your extension agent, what they're really good at is helping you figure out what questions to ask, kind of guide you and where to go first and what steps to take. So they will work through your problems with you and talk to you about what's going on, and then what do you need to start asking. And once you figure out those steps, they can also walk you through the steps. So whether it's figuring out how to take a soil sample, or how to take a plant sample, and what is it that the specialists are going to need when you send that into the lab. Photos are something they can help a lot with. So we have a great digital diagnostic lab that's available for different things, but getting the right photos and the right quality, that's something that your offices can help you in submitting those. So next. So kind of all that to say is just, we have all these resources available. It can be daunting to go out into your garden and purposely look for problems, but I think both James and Bob mentioned scouting is one of the best things you can do in troubleshooting for your garden. So you don't want to be afraid to go find the problems. You want to go really intentionally search for what could be weird, or what's going on, or what's the beginning of a problem. And hopefully knowing that you have people to reach out to that can help you connect with the resources you need makes that a little less scary and encourages you to go out there and do that. So that was kind of what I wanted to get across in my brief time with you. And then, of course, if you want to take it to the next level, and you can go to the next slide, and become a master gardener yourself, that's also an option. It's a great program. You will learn a lot. You'll still have lots of questions, but you'll have a whole group of people that you are now friends with that you can work those questions out with. If you go to this link, if you're interested in finding out more about it, this will show you the counties across the state that currently have master gardener programs. And so you could get in touch with those counties. It also should take you to the contact information for the state master gardener coordinator office. So if you have further questions that you need to contact them about that as well. So thank you guys for your time, and thank you James and Bob and Laura for hosting this webinar, and